What's up? Coach Miner. It is 3:05 on June 12th, 2022. Good to see everybody. Good to be seen. Thanks everybody for hopping on. We have quite a bit to cover. We're going to go over little introductions, schedule, a fundraiser that we have. So we have Akeem that's going to be, or that's joining us, that will talk about fundraiser we're going to be working on and all that fun stuff. So I think I know almost everybody, but I'm Coach Miner. I played at University of Portland. We use that term play kind of loosely. I was on the team at the University of Portland and was there for all 4 years, graduated in 2006. I've coached basketball since then and am now at Pacific University in beautiful Forest Grove. Started Grit last spring, so this is the second summer. I've had other club programs, but this is the second summer session of Grit. So Grit is one of my favorite qualities in a player, but it's also an acronym. So you guys see the dots there? That means it's short for something else. So that's what an acronym means. So Cannon, go ahead and unmute and tell us what the G in Grit stands for.
Gratitude.
Gratitude. Good job. We're thankful. We're appreciative of the opportunity to play basketball. We want to make sure that we never take it for granted because it can be taken away, whether that's with a ruptured Achilles tendon, too soon, or a pandemic, it can be taken away. So it's really important to have gratitude. The R, this is a tricky one. I'm gonna go with Sam. Sam, go ahead and unmute and tell us what the R is in Grit.
You got resiliency.
Resiliency, good. Sometimes people get that one confused, a little tricky, but good job. Resiliency, especially after a pandemic, you got to bounce back. So resiliency, gratitude, resiliency. Russell's looking down, trying not to make eye contact, but I know he knows the I, so I'm going to call on you, Russell. I hope you know the I. What's
Intensity.
the I for?
Intensity.
Intensity. If you didn't hear him, it wasn't very an intense answer, but intensity, playing with intensity and fire and passion. Okay, so that's what we're going to be known for. Gratitude, resiliency, intensity, and the T, Nick, who has Andrea's name on there, but we're going to go ahead and know that that's Nick. So Nick, go ahead and unmute and tell us what the T is for.
Togetherness.
Togetherness. Good answer. Good job. Togetherness. So a little bit different philosophy. I know almost everybody has been in the program before, but those that don't know, we play hard and we play together. So togetherness, not toughness. I do love toughness, but I felt like when I was coming up with the acronym for Grit, that togetherness as a program was more important than toughness. Toughness kind of factors in with the word grit as a total, and the I, intensity, resiliency, gratitude. So good job on that. Thanks you guys for participating. I'm going to introduce our other coaches, or actually I'll have them introduce themselves. I'll give them a little brief intro, but I know Josh, we appreciate you joining us. He is at Fleet Week down on the waterfront. So really appreciate you hopping in. Josh, if you're able to, go ahead. Josh, you want to unmute and introduce yourself really quickly, and then you can get back to having a good time.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
No, it's good to be back on with everybody. I know most of you from the past season, but I'm looking forward to July. Background, worked at Portland State as a manager for a couple of years, coached with other club programs, and now I'm also going into, I guess it'll be our third season. Doesn't feel like it's only been 2 years, but that's how it's worked. Third season at LaSalle as the JV2 freshman coach, and also assistant with varsity. So yeah, just looking forward to getting back after it in July. Should be a good month.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, Josh, known for quite a while. I respect guys that are student assistants, managers, walk-ons, because I know he worked really hard and didn't get a lot of credit as the student manager. And then now as the head JV2 coach at LaSalle High School, does an awesome job with player development. He's trained guys that are playing professionally and worked with players of all ages and abilities. So we're thankful to have Josh back. Let's talk to Coach Willis, Coach Jonathan Willis, one of my best friends, one of the cutest little girls with Maggie in that conversation as well.
Say hi.
Can we say hi, Maya?
Can you say hi?
Hi.
Can you say hi?
Oh, there she is.
Hello, everybody. I'm Coach Willis. Glad to be with the program still. Looking forward to working with you guys. From Florida, played at the University of South Florida. Use that term loosely like Brant does. Coached at Willamette, Linfield. Most recently, head coach at South Puget Sound Community College in Olympia, Washington. No longer doing that. So we'll see. But excited to be with the Grit family.
Awesome. Appreciate you, John. And if you guys don't know, I was in John's wedding, and John's wedding was a celebration like none other. If you guys know John, he brings passion, he brings energy, he brings the juice. And so his wedding resembled that. And that was that in Woodburn or St. Paul or?
Woodburn, Oregon.
Woodburn. So all John's family came up from Florida.
Correct.
Pastor Willis, there was a squad there from Florida, and it was a celebration. So that was a great time. Very honored to have been able to stand with you. We did a little Euro step down the aisle as I walked his sister-in-law down the aisle. But definitely one of the good ones. Like you said, he's got a lot of college experience, head college coaching experience. He'll be with us some this summer. So yeah, appreciate you, Coach Willis. Let's go to Coach Hellstrom, Coach Brandon Hellstrom. Go ahead, unmute Brandon and introduce yourself.
I'm Coach Hellstrom. This is my first full year with Grit. Josh and I worked together with the Gold team in the spring, and to kind of continue on the theme of playing college ball, but not really. I was probably the Warner Pacific College best get back and or towel person while I was there for 2 years. So yes, I had an opportunity to play at Warner Pacific. And from there, we moved to California and coached at Bayer High School. The last 5 years we were there, we were the varsity coach. And then since moving back to Oregon, I've coached at Central Catholic for a year, a few years at Liberty 4, and then this last 3 at Sherwood. So I'm an assistant there and really enjoy working with not just Brant, but John and Josh, and now Alexi as well. I'm looking forward to working with them as a staff, but also all of the players. I'm looking forward to it. The spring season was a lot of fun. I'm looking to kind of just continue that fun into our summer season. So thank you so much for listening to my little introduction.
Coach Hellstrom, one of the best guys I know. A selfless servant leader, just does whatever's necessary, never asks for the credit, but is always there. Really appreciate you, Coach Hellstrom. Like you said, he's got 5 years of head high school coaching experience in California. His email still matches that team. I always give him a hard time because I've taught him that you can forward it. But if you want to connect with him, bayerbasketball@gmail.com. So yeah, we also this summer, we have Alexis Heald, probably has the most storied playing career of any of our coaching staff. Lex was with us last summer with Grit, and she is back with us again this summer. And Lex, do you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and introduce yourself to the team?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Lex. I'm going to be a senior at Linfield University on the women's basketball team. I play power forward. Before that, I played at Lincoln High School, and like Coach said, this is my second year with Grit, so I'm excited to work with you guys again.
We're excited to have you back for sure. You bring some grace to the coaching staff, and definitely I love your grit when you play. I've had the chance to see you play a few times, and she says power forward. She is tough. Don't let her soft voice fool you. She uses her physicality and toughness, and I love the way you play, Lex, and I love the way you coach and connect with the players. So If you guys don't know, you're lucky to get to work with Lex this summer. So that's our staff that we have. I know we're looking to have 2 teams. So we're gonna have, like we did kind of this spring, and it's cool that so many of you are back from spring. There's a couple that didn't make it because they had other summer plans, but the majority of the players are back. So I'm really excited. That says a lot about these coaches and you guys that you're wanting to come back and experience all this again. So appreciate everyone, appreciate the coaches covering for me when I got wounded or got hurt. I wasn't able to make quite as much as I would have liked to. And then this summer, baby boy minor coming 11 days to the due date, but coming anytime now. You know, the bags are packed and we're ready to go. I keep checking my phone just to make sure that it's not my wife saying, let's go. But so I'll be around as much as I can this summer, but I fully have faith in the coaches that we have. So yeah, it's going to be a great summer. So we'll go into a little bit of the schedule so I can cover that with everybody. And then we will, there will be some possible adjustments. We're going to try to keep it to this, but there might be some adjustments. So I'll send this out. I will follow up with everybody and send out the schedule, but just so we can say it together and answer any questions. We'll start the Tuesday after the 4th of July. We'll have a barbecue, just a little team building activity, hang out, get to know each other a little bit, have a good time. And then that Wednesday, we'll have practice Wednesday and Thursday of that week, July 6th and 7th. And those will be at the Middleton Jewish Community Center. So that's where we were some this spring. And then that Friday night, we'll have games in Salem. So we're going to play games in Salem. Saturday will be off. Sunday, we'll come back to the Wilsonville Edge Fitness and do 2 hours of skill work. So we're going to get 3 days most weeks of practice. And then that Tuesday, Thursday will be practices, and then games on Friday the 15th with Saturday off. Sunday, 2 hours of skill work. And then Tuesday, Thursday, that's the 19th and 21st, 2 practices. And then we are looking to get a game or 2 that weekend. Still to be determined on that 23rd, 24th. We do have the Wilsonville Edge Fitness reserved for 3 to 5 that Sunday. We're working on getting some games for the team locally. One of those days we might also, and Aaron, Nick's father, is working with me, or he's doing all the work. I'm not kidding. Who am I kidding? He's doing all the work, helping find us a service project that we can do as a team to do some team building. Aaron, do you want to touch on that briefly?
Yeah, so for a group of this size, likely the best volunteer option is going to be at a food bank where they can accommodate a shift for as many people as we have. So the question for the families on the call, is there an objection to taking one of these open Saturdays? Are your guys going to be around during the weeks and available? If not, what I'd be happy to do, I've got calls out to a couple of the area food banks, trying to be mindful of the guys that are coming up from down south, so we can maybe meet somewhere in the middle and find a day that works for everybody. So if you could shoot a text to the group thread and let me know if you have a preference around a particular day or at least a weekday versus a weekend, that'll help me narrow down, and then I'll try to come up with a list of options and we can put it to the group for a vote. But what Brant and I have been talking about, consistently with building community and those kinds of things, let's get out and be a part of that community, and let's go put in a little work. It'll be a great way for the guys to come together and spend some good time, as well as do something good for the communities we all live in. So that's the idea there.
Awesome. Thank you, Aaron. I really appreciate all your help with that. Because I do think that's one thing that makes us a little unique, a little special, is that we do more than just hoops. So appreciate all your help with that.
Yeah,
so
I'll
follow up in the group thread, but if we can take one of those Saturdays, possibly the 23rd. If we're playing games on the 24th, that's a Saturday option, but let us know. And then the following week after that is the Tuesday practice. Wednesday, another barbecue. Why not? I love barbecues and I love getting together with you guys. So we'll do another one right before we head to San Diego. So, and then that tournament is, so Thursday would be like a travel day. So I've been trying to get that word out there in that group thread. Thursday, well, because we'll play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The last game Sunday would be at 4, and that's if we're playing in the championship. Might probably be done noon or 1 or 2. But if you can try to find a flight out that evening. And then the following weekend, Friday, is the Pacific University Elite Camp, which is included in your summer fee. So you get a chance to come out and check out our beautiful campus, meet our other coaches, spend a day out there. Then that Saturday, August 6th and Sunday, August 7th is the Elite Basketball School, which is at Clackamas Community College this year. And we'll have 15 college coaches working. And that's always a great weekend of basketball. I know some of you guys have done Max Hoop stuff before. It's really cool because you get a different voice every hour. So you don't have to listen to me up there teaching everything and doing all that. It's a different voice each hour, and all the coaches bring good stuff. So that is that. So that's the schedule. I think everybody is in the group chat. If you're not in that chat, that thread, let me know. I'm looking around. I think everybody, I know I see, unfortunately, if you don't have an iPhone, it's a lot more difficult for us to add you to that group chat. Because if there's somebody in there, even just one person that doesn't have an iPhone, you can only have 20. So I know Eric, we're communicating with Julie, and Russell is in there also, but having an iPhone helps because you can only have 20 people if one of them doesn't have an iPhone, and you can't add new people if there's one that's not an iPhone. Okay, let me check the notes. That's the schedule, and we'll try to communicate that way. But yeah, feel free to reach. Communication. I thought we had an awesome job this spring of letting me know when you couldn't make it. We're trying to limit the times we have to cancel practice. So I know Cole's out of town. I know Sam's out of town. Russell's out of town. So if you guys can let me know those dates ahead of time when you know you'll be gone, that way we can try to plan accordingly. We'll miss you, but the show must go on. So we'll try to work around your schedules. I know that's one thing that I stress with Grit is that we want families that do have trips planned, and I don't think that the 15-year-old's calendar should rule the family schedule. So it's all right if you guys do have other stuff planned in July, just try to do the best you can to communicate with me. As far as parents' communication, I encourage you to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns about playing time, team you're playing on, anything like that. We will implement a 24-hour rule. So if you're concerned or upset about anything like that, we will not communicate until 24 hours after the last game. So if we play on Friday night and you're upset, then we can talk Saturday night or Sunday, but we will not corner coaches and have them. So since John was able to show off his logger, we'll have Maggie here. So Maggie, can you say hi to the people? You see the people in there? Look, Max. Maggie, look. You see the people in there? Do you see the people?
Hey, Maggie. Hi.
You hear them? Yeah. She's busy. She's doing stuff. She's got her own stuff happening. Trying to get her a job right now. So she's probably on Indeed. But so I think that will give us a little cool down period, that 24 hours. So if you are upset or you do have questions or concerns, I encourage you to reach out, but we'll give it 24 hours just to be able to have level heads and make sure that we're communicating without the heat of all the high emotions after the game. But we're open to talk to you about how we're making our decisions and what we're trying to do. But I do think it's best sometimes not to say stuff right after the game or corner a coach after a game and chew them out. So, okay, so we covered that. Uniforms, I think pretty much everybody. We have a few new people joining the squad, and I have uniforms for you guys. I'll have that taken care of for you guys. And then, so uniforms, shirts, we're getting some Juice University shirts made, which will be awesome for warm-ups for the summer. And then, let's see, things that players need to download if you have not already: Google Sheets, Google Drive, and Google Documents. Most of you have that. Most of you did a great job with that this spring, but if not, I'll be in touch with you. But Will, I know, is joining us back for year 2, but was not with us in the spring. So we'll want to make sure we get you updated. With that, we're going to have Hakeem. Hakeem's been a buddy of mine, done some stuff to help out. He's TikTok famous. I know Rowan has a few TikTok. How many followers do you have, Rowan? Or likers, or whatever they're called on there?
I don't know. I haven't posted in a little bit, but I still have like 27K.
27K. Okay. That's solid. It's more than I have on TikTok. Hakeem played in the NFL, caught more passes than I did as a professional football player, and just a really good guy. He's come on and talked to us about creating a legacy with your social media and using it for the good. He's also an entrepreneur, does real estate, all sorts of awesome stuff, but he also now owns an amazing coffee company that he's going to tell us a little bit about. It's got a great name. So Hakeem, you want to go ahead and unmute? Maybe you can give a brief introduction and then tell us a little bit about what you got going.
Absolutely. Thanks, Brent, for having me. I also have my partner in the chat as well, Tony. He's somewhere down there in his car. I like that 24-hour rule that you implement, because emotions run hot after games, and clear heads will prevail always. So I love that you have that implemented with the team. But how's everyone doing tonight? Super excited to be here. You guys are in great hands. I'm sure you guys have already interacted and worked with Coach Miner here, but he's as best as they come, especially with his coaching style and just the way that he handles interpersonal communication, which I absolutely love. A little bit about myself. I'm a former NFL tight end. Just as a quick bit of motivation for you guys out there, I was a bench player in college. My first all 4 years, had no catches, had nothing until my senior year. I got my first catch and first touchdown, and only got less than 1,000 yards of receiving and only 3 touchdowns in college, and was able to make it to the NFL just through grit and hard work. But after retiring from the NFL, did a couple different things in the entrepreneurial world with real estate and media. And you mentioned I'm on TikTok, so throw me a follow and I'll follow you guys back. And I launched this coffee company with my partner down here, Tony. So when I was living in St. Louis, Tony here was managing the coffee shop across the street, and would go there every day with my 3-year-old daughter, and just got to meet him, learn a little bit more about coffee, because I was completely blind and more or less ignorant to the process that went behind creating coffee. I thought a coffee plant just came out already brown and roasted. And Tony schooled me on that with all of his experience, which he'll touch on. But we essentially, back in October, we officially launched St. Margaret Lane Coffee. The business started in my garage in St. Louis, which was on St. Margaret Lane, which is how we came up with that super creative name. And one of our core focuses with our business, we don't have a coffee shop necessarily, and we don't do too much of e-commerce sales on our own. So we like to focus on sports fundraisers. You know, me being former athlete, I love the space, and I've experienced so many different fundraisers as an athlete growing up, and you know, a lot of them, I had a lot of different complaints on the back end, depending on what it was, whether it was, you know, one of those discount cards or, you know, gift wrap or something that people weren't consuming. They just ultimately wanted to support whatever I was doing. But, you know, coffee ultimately being a commodity and allowing it to be a vehicle to support, you know, for parents out there, your children and then and their sports team and everything that they're doing with it, just seemed like a win-win to us. I'm going to tap into the whole fundraising program, but I don't want to leave out my partner Tony here and you want to give a brief introduction and go into it.
Yeah, so Hakeem kind of brushed on me working in coffee. Food has always been food and hospitality. I've always had some kind of side gig or main gig. I went to school for marketing, sales analytics and optimization. And at the coffee shop, I was actually asked, "Do you want to roast the coffee?" And then 3 years later, I'm able to grow the coffee demand from 8 pounds a day to about 100 a week. From there, and kind of going deeper into that love of creativity, meeting science, and really learning about coffee. One of our biggest things is always that customer who has, wow, that's really good, or the first time they got to try craft coffee. And working in that space and seeing and running restaurants and venues and seeing all the overhead and whatnot, we really wanted to approach that where we could focus on sourcing fantastic, high quality coffee beans, do the process, and allow that to kind of be passed on to the end consumer. Since we don't have a giant marketing campaign, we don't have 20 people on staff, we're not worried about how do we make breakfast tacos or anything like that. We simply focus on coffee. And what we try and bring with that is that coffee for the people. That's kind of the motto that we think plays really well with the fundraising models of we want to be part of the you guys' success by providing a great product and great value. So it's no longer saying, hey, do you need frozen pizzas? Do you need wrapping paper? Do you need another something that you already have a ton of? Coffee being something that you can take it on the run, you can take it to your office, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. So that way we can provide that to you.
And just as a little bit of a to kind of tap into how the whole fundraising aspect works. It's not like, you know, our old school where you have your envelope and you're out there collecting and soliciting money and putting it in an envelope to bring it back into one big pot. Everything's online nowadays. And, Brant, am I able to share my screen here?
You should be able to share, yeah.
Okay, great. So instead of doing the paper model, we essentially have added. Thanks for those pictures, by the way, Brant. Some of you guys' photos to the website, to this version of our website, because the only people who are going to see this version of our website is family, friends, and supporters of you guys. So when they tap into the website, they can visually see like, oh, I'm not sure what you guys' names are right here, but it adds that instant relativity. And with going on to the website and trying to figure out ultimately what you want to order on the back end of our fundraiser, we do a 50-50 profit split with our company and with you guys' team. So, Brant will have this and all of you guys will have this to ultimately see and just transparently be able to see what each of our products costs. We have things from, ground coffee beans to K-cups. So for your Keurig machine, to whole beans, because some people like to actually take their coffee beans and grind it before actually making their pot of coffee. One of the next steps that we're going to need from Brant is we essentially have reserved 18 different promo code spots so we can track sales individually. So I know internally you guys might be doing some type of competition to see who sells the most coffee, but it'll be able to be tracked. So let's say your name is Jason. When grandma is checking out of her coffee, she puts Jason in at checkout. So now on the back end, we're able to see how much money Jason brought back to the organization, and internally, obviously, whatever type of competitions you guys want to have, you'll be able to do it from there. I know I just went on a whole bunch of different tangents there, but in its simplest form, it's a fundraiser that's at its basic end coffee. Coffee, like I said, being a commodity, if someone drinks coffee, it's an easy way to ultimately support your kids. But actually, when you taste the product, you'll understand that, whoa, this isn't anything like any other coffee I've ever tried. We source our coffee directly from Brazil, and then we have different third-party brokers for our other Colombian blends that we have. But with that, all of our coffee is roasted to order. Once we decide what actual day one is and the final day of this fundraiser will be, we'll essentially every order will be a pre-order to essentially make it cheaper. So it's one big shipment coming out to you guys versus on the back end having to individually ship it to each person like in your group. But now having a start date, end date, on the end date, we're going to take all of that coffee, and within a week and a half to 2 weeks, it'll be to you, because we're going to then roast it all.
And then,
I just said a lot. If you want to fill in the blanks there.
so with the options in terms of the coffee that you can sell, there's also the ability for subscriptions. So our platform, if someone knows they're going to use a lot of coffee, they can go ahead and do the subscription. And the benefit as a fundraiser model of that, each one of those sales every month will still put money towards your guys' team and your efforts. So it's not the fundraising where you can only buy it today and this is the only opportunity in our 2-week window. If they know they're going to want to love coffee, or they want to buy as a gift to someone else, it can go the entire year and you guys will still be benefiting from the convenience of having it mailed on the month to them.
And we kind of would love to, if there is any, open the floor to any parents or any of the players out there who have any particular questions about the fundraiser and just how we can be of the greatest asset to you throughout this fundraising process.
Anybody have any questions? The subscription, we call it the gift that keeps on giving, because you keep getting that. So is there any questions? Does anybody have? There will be internal competition. So I'll be posting that. Hakeem and I are gonna get together and decide when we start. It'll be soon. And then we'll tell you what the person who sells the most coffee will have a first, second, and third prize. So whoever sells the most, you'll get to keep that to help offset the cost of your summer fee. But if you're the one that sells the most, you will get something special, and we'll release that when we release the start date. So that way everybody can know what they're shooting for and hoping to win. But we'll make it a competition because we like to compete. So might as well see who can raise the most and get after it that way. So does anybody have a question? Feel free to unmute if anybody does have anything, but we'll be sharing you on that screen Hakeem showed you. You can type in how much you sell and we'll show you how much you get as a return.
Oh, yeah.
You want to show them that, Hakeem?
Yeah, we have a calculator at the bottom of this link. So we just put two of our best sellers here, just like our 1 pound bag of coffee and our 24 count of K cups. So let's say somebody sells, 15 things of K cups and, 12 bags of coffee. With that, they would have raised $181 back to the organization. The funds raised by the coffee bags were $80, $101 raised by the K cups. But you'll be able to internally see that to essentially project and figure out like, oh, I've done this much, and that's ultimately how much I'm bringing back to my team and my organization. But we'll share all of this with you guys as well, so you have access to it throughout the process.
In terms of handling payments and whatnot, it's all built into the website. So you have the option, if you were going to the door, I could pay right then and there on my phone from a QR code and do it that way. Or you can also send that link in the URL and they can do it at a later time. So you have the ability to capture, point of moment right there sales, or hey, when you get home, pass along to friends and whatnot and have it go that way as well. So making sure if you're going to do that option of passing out that you keep your player code with that to make sure that we can track that and give you the orders to that player.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to see how it goes, and hopefully we can raise a little bit of money and get some of your guys. If you guys don't know, Maggie's real name is Margaret. That's her full name. So Margaret is a pretty good name. So I like that you guys chose that, Hakeem. Well, good. Well, I appreciate the opportunity because most people do drink coffee. I know I have. I'm going to pick up some of the K K-cups, not keg cups, not keg cups,
Okay.
not keg cups, K-cups. Don't get it confused. We will have K-cups. So I'm gonna pick up at least a few of those to help try them out. And then, so it's a chance to raise some money and also get some good coffee. So if there isn't any questions, and if you guys do have questions or think of them later, or there is any concerns or anything, you can always reach out to me and I can get connected obviously with Hakeem and we can answer anything that you have. But no, not seeing any questions now. So
Awesome.
I appreciate it, Hakeem.
Yeah, we appreciate the opportunity. Really excited to work with you guys, and hopefully we can sell some coffee.
Let's do it. Awesome. Well, that's about what I had for everybody today. So we'll see if there is anybody, Coach Willis or Coach Hellstrom. Do you guys have anything you want to add before we sign off for the day? Coach Willis, what do you got?
I just want to say thanks to everybody for coming back out and spending time with the Grit family again. On a personal note, I would just ask that if you're playing this summer, like with your high school, please share your schedule with me or with the other coaches. I'd love to get out and watch you play, like for your high school team, because ultimately we want to help you become better players so that you can be better at your high school, right? And better for your high school team. So if there's something that they're asking you to do, right? Like if they're asking you to pick and pop, or you know what I mean, just let us know that so we can see that, and that way we can work with you on that as well when you come back to us, because that's what this should be. This should be something to help you get better so that you're ready to rock and roll for your high school team. So please share those schedules with us so we can come watch you.
Awesome.
That's exactly what I was going to say too. Like, I'm excited for everyone, the new people that are here and those that are coming back. I know that, like, I saw like as soon as we were done with our season on Tuesday, I think Friday I saw Nick, because we played against him at Tigard High School, and I think I saw Tucker on Saturday, and then they were playing again on Sunday. So just, yeah, I'd love to come out, and whether we're playing against you or, if I can watch and just like, just enjoy basketball. I'd love to see what's going on with you and with your team and how you're progressing. So yeah, just let us know.
Ditto those ditto marks, whatever. But yeah, I definitely, if we can get out, we'd love to see you guys play. So do pass on your schedules. Coach Hellstrom and Coach Willis and Coach Lex Josh are all in that group thread that has all players and parents in it as of now. If there's anybody that I'm missing, just let me know and I can get them added if they have an iPhone. Not prejudiced, we've already gone over this, but it is way easier if you have an iPhone. We are looking for a couple more players. So we have a couple spots that we're going to look to fill in the next few weeks before we get started. So if you have any buddies or any friends that might want to play, let us know. And with that, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to stop the recording. Stopped. Wait.